Hello, America. It's your boy, Donnie J. I do not know much about the sport of lacrosse, but I do know this show fucks. I have been given the gracious honor to do the introduction this week. Very, very grateful. There are three things I love in this world: beautiful American women, freedom, and sports. I don't know if you guys knew that. I never played lacrosse as a little boy, but I'm quite confident I would have been one of the greatest to ever play the sport. I must say, this sport is pretty badass. Getting hit with a metal weapon, no thank you. The only thing not badass about the sport is RJ Kaminsky. What a loser, that guy. I did watch the Army-Navy game this year. Not many people know that I was in attendance to the game. Fake news must have gotten their grimy hands on the tape because there was a really big cheer for me. People were like, wow, what a big cheer. Sleepy Joe wouldn't have went. He was probably somewhere else. Anyways, God bless America, and good night. I love you. Enjoy.
Gameday's here for the sport we love. Fast breaks, bar downs, and the tails dunks. Darling, because it's time to roll. Face off, throw one, and get in the hole. Legends rise, it's the creator's game. This is college lacrosse game day.
Friday, 4:18. State College took Rutgers behind the barn on Friday, 12-4 Nittany Lions.
Maryland wins the rivalry, 11-8 over Hopkins. Number 10 had 5 points for the Terps.
Loyola is back on the horse in Maryland, 16-11 win over Navy.
Saturday, April 19th, get the ball to the German. Weishart 6 points for Towson as they win their 7th straight, 14-9 over Fairfield.
Hi-Ho. High Point beats St. Joe's, 11-9 Pants.
Remember way back when Penn was top 10? Now their men are running to the Glen as fast as they can. Princeton wins, 12-8.
UNC kept it close until Notre Dame realized they don't lose at the heels, 12-6 Irish.
Food trucks, beer, and a god-daubin' bouncy house wasn't enough for Harvard. Cornell wins, 2012.
Richmond were the rich men, and UMass were begging for forgiveness, 14-5 Spiders.
The Big Green down the Brown, 13-9.
It was fire versus fur. Drexel takes down Stony Brook 15-14.
The Duke Skywalkers use the force against Cuse, 11-7.
The jaw of my Monmouth is on the floor. Delaware falls in overtime, 12-11.
BU goalie Billy Barnes prevented a barn burner with 23 saves. Terriers 12, Lehigh 7.
The Buckeyes planted the flag again, 10-8 over Michigan, and the game ain't just for football anymore.
Providence thought the Rocky Mountains would be a whole lot rockier than they were Saturday. That Bill Tierney is full of shit, man. 10-6 Friars.
It wasn't the DeHaas dunk, but it'll do from Albany's Colton Marquise in OT against Yale, 15-14.
Hello, friends, and welcome. The fastest podcast on 2 feet, College Lacrosse Game Day. We thank our president for warm introduction. I think we're all on the same page here. I think Mike is a top 5 Trump impression that I've ever heard across the board. Any comedian, anyone.
It might be top 2 for me. Mike and Shane Gillis are top 2.
Yeah. I don't know.
Honestly.
And it's a close battle for number 1.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you kind of have to go off a script too. Like when you got some creamers in you and you're just kind of going at it. It's even better.
Yeah.
It's always the creamers, man.
It was due time that was
It's when it comes
showcased.
out. It was due time. It was overdue.
It was. You took a risk there. You went for it. That's tough too. When the camera turns on and we say go, it's always a brave jump you have to take. It's a great week for us last week, getting to talk to Anish Shroff. A lot of momentum for us last week of the regular season. A lot to look forward to in terms of conference play. A lot of implications on who's going to be in and who's going to be out for conference tournaments this week that we'll talk about. Rivalry week last week, though. Not a ton of surprises across the board. Some upsets. Monmouth, getting it done.
Yeah.
Jaw on the floor.
In Delaware. Potentially one of the biggest upsets of the year.
Yep. Potentially. Anish nailed the Notre Dame take.
Yep.
After we stopped recording and we were just talking lax for an hour, he said, we're we talked about Notre Dame, and he just said, watch out, because number 5 and number 14 can do some pretty amazing things. And that's what they did on Saturday. And who knows? They might be back.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're starting to play. They're starting to get hot at the right time.
You said.
Yeah, I said it too. Like, I think these guys are coming up on 100%. Like, for most of the year, they're playing at 70, 80%, but now they're ready to go. And I had to wear my Notre Dame quarters up because I'm all in on Notre Dame for the rest of the year. Felt right.
You look like the assistant trainer. You look
Yeah,
like
I was going to say.
the intern. Yeah.
I'd be happy to fulfill that role.
Some mid-calves on and some team apparel.
May I tape your ankle, Mr. Kavanaugh?
How do you like it, sir?
One thing I noticed from Kavanaugh is he always takes his helmet off during the games. Like, he has, like, some sick take that he took.
Do you have a problem with it?
Yeah, I just think, like, why he always takes his helmet off.
Oh, it's a me guy.
Well, you should tell him.
I think it's stupid. Keep your helmet on. Like, you're a beast.
I think he just gets rocked so hard that it flies off.
Well, tighten it.
No, I think he's a selfish asshole, and he's just trying to build his brand.
I don't know. He's just always like,
He's trying to get the NIL bag.
Yeah.
maybe.
I want to have
Head
him,
and shoulders.
Dr. Squash. Or no, he'd be Irish Spring for sure.
Yeah.
Is that still a brand?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Dude, you don't buy the 7-in-1?
Yeah. You clearly haven't been to the Dollar Tree in a while.
Sure haven't. I don't have the locks anymore.
I wish we'd have him on and others and just ask, how big's your NIL deal? I want to know that. I want to know.
That would be great info to know. Surprised they don't have like a, like an On3 kind of page for it, because some of these guys are probably making a little bit of money, a little bit of dough.
Definitely.
Have to be.
You kind of touched on it, Dan, like rivalry week. Not a ton of upsets per se, but a lot of meaningful results, right? Just when you think teams are getting hot or kind of fading away, they come back, right? Notre Dame is one who came on real strong this week. Duke is another team. Seems like they're back from the dead and they're playing hot. They look like a Final Four, weekend team. Couple teams that had tough losses, like Syracuse and UNC, teams that you thought were hot, maybe have a little more figuring out to do, but not a ton of huge upsets, but some very meaningful scores that came out of this weekend.
Providence over Denver. That's one we forgot to touch on.
That's a big one. Towson beating Fairfield. High Point beating St. Joe's. I mean,
Loyola beating Navy.
yeah. I mean, a lot of these scores are in-conference games that really shook up the rankings for these in-conference tournaments, which will inevitably have an impact at some point.
Not in conference, but Albany beating Yale too.
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy game. Yeah. No, a lot of
Bunch of
good scores.
mid-major madness hidden.
Yeah.
And
Bunch of mid-major. And also, it's important to note that was Providence's first win ever over Denver
Ever?
in program history.
Wow.
Ever. Which I didn't know.
They put on yellow helmets, and it worked.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wore yellow helmets.
Like Brunswick.
It did not match at all. It didn't look right. I
Kinda
thought they were
liked it.
doing it for like a cause or something.
Maybe they were.
Maybe.
They didn't
I
have
don't-
highlights on, but
Yeah. I wonder where that yellow came from. Definitely. It looked like a throwback type thing.
then their jerseys were like what they've worn for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it worked. And let's get to the call-ins. Maybe it'll help us recap what happened last week a little more.
I was actually Lacrosse. Is that game with the fucking fish stick there, the nets there?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Calling in. My name's Dan Arestia. That's Spencer Jr. If you're not committed to Maryland and ranked top 3 in your class, by the end of your junior year, I'll shave your head and I'll ship your ass off to boarding school in Alaska faster than Lamar Jackson 40-yard dash.
Starting off, call from a big guest, Zach Cole. Zach Cole's calling and he's talking about conference playoffs and some challenges with the selection of locations.
What's going on, College Lacrosse Game Day? This is Zach Cole calling in to get your guys' opinion on some situations that may arise this upcoming week leading into next week with conference championship play. First and foremost, I want to go out there and say that I think that the number 1 seed in each conference should be hosting the tournament. I know specifically for the A10, it is a rotating or random host site, which I think is absolute bullshit. Just to give you some context on my frustration, my 5th year was the first year of the N. I was at St. Joe's, and we went down to High Point and played them on a Saturday and beat them by 6 goals. Traveled back that Saturday, and have to get back on a bus that Wednesday to go back down to Richmond, which is the site of the conference championship. We then play High Point again, so you're playing the same team in 5 days, and High Point beats us. I'm not saying that the outcome of that game is due to us having to travel, but I do think that not having a home game after winning the regular season conference championship is a severe disadvantage, and I think it's quite frankly bullshit.
Yeah, it's a solid take, and it definitely comes up. As he was talking, I was trying to pull up where some of the conference tournaments are. A10, obviously, as Mike, you and I are well aware, that does rotate. I have some conflicting opinions on this, because it is, as a player, this is just my opinion, I do think it's nice for the conference tournament to get on a bus with your team, travel somewhere, go to a hotel, right? It's like, late in the school year too, you get to, like, all schools put aside that week, right? You're there, it's playoffs, and your entire focus is lacrosse. It's nice to kind of leave campus and be like, I'm going to play lacrosse right now. I'm going on a lacrosse trip. And when we did that at Hobart for conference playoffs, we won both semifinal games. So it was like a mini vacation, 3 nights in a hotel with your team and your boys. And it's just awesome because you're away from school. When you're playing that conference championship at home, all the 4 teams are in your town or at your school. Meanwhile, you're like doing your homework, doing your normal routine. And like these teams are all in the mindset of like, this is the playoffs, we're at a championship. So I don't know. But I mean, flying to High Point, flying back home to Philly, then driving down to Richmond, Virginia, like that's a lot. He certainly has an argument.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good take. I think, if you play, if like the conference tournament is all in one weekend, right, then having a designated random host site, I think is fine, right? You go down, you play on Friday. If you win, you stay till Sunday or, Saturday, Monday, whatever it is. That's what the Big East does. I don't know if the A10 is different where like the games are spread out by a couple days and you don't have the chance to, stay 4 or 5 nights in one spot. But it is a valid argument. I think one side of it's like you win the regular season, you're the best team. It just makes it easy. Like that's who's hosting. You've earned a right to host, right? That puts some, value on being the regular season champs. If you have to travel and you're the 1 seed, I can see why it's a major disadvantage. And in St. Joe's case, like absolutely it's a disadvantage, right? You're traveling up and down the East Coast. So, I think there is some merit in saying like, you have a good season the previous year, you earn a little advantage the following year. But again, like, I think you should be rewarded for that season. It's that group of men, it's that team, right? You fought hard all year long. You should be rewarded with a home site advantage.
It's important to note that example that Zach gave, right? Probably the biggest downside of, random hosts of what happened to St. Joe's 5th year is probably going to happen again this year, but this time to Richmond. I believe if St. Joe's loses to Richmond, St. Joe's is hosting, Richmond is traveling up this Saturday, then they'd have to travel back to Richmond and back up to play St. Joe's again. If you're unfortunate enough to be in one of those travel scenarios where you're playing the same team twice, the A10, even though it's only 6 teams, there's a pretty big gap in distance between some of the Northeast teams and all the way down to Carolina and Virginia. So it can fuck you pretty badly, which is the point that I agree on with Zach there.
Maybe they're just trying to plan travel. Like, because some of the teams are so far away, just be like on the same page. Like, hey, we're all going down here.
Yeah, that could be it. Like for context, last year, the 2024 Big East tournament was held at Villanova. Denver was a 1 seed, right? That's a long way for them to go. But to Brett's point, like,
And Denver lost.
Right.
Against
And they've probably been
Villanova.
the 1 seed for the last couple of years. Like, but I guess, to Brett's point, like if you know where the championship is and like, when you earn your bid to the conference playoffs, like it probably makes it easier for the program to book flights ahead of time and save some money. It's not like a last second thing, right? They don't have private jets so they can just fly down whenever they want.
Syracuse probably does. Which brings me to the next call. We have Dean calling in about Cuse, the ACC.
Hey, Dean Mitty back here. Oh, hell. Spallina, he done had 5 again, but the boys lost. I better not hear any stick from Brad Callis on that. He hasn't called in weeks. Duke's a tough team. End of story. They were due for a big win. But we still got the head-to-head win over Notre Dame, so I still see us taking the 1 seed in the ACC tourney, albeit no longer undefeated, like my prediction. But you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch the worm now, do you? So if Q's don't beat UNC, you might not be hearing from me. Have a great one, boy.
Yeah, the ACC tournament's going to be awesome. That's in Charlotte, I believe. ACC tournament in Charlotte.
So wait, just for context, what's the format of the ACC tournament? Do the top 4 teams make it? The 5th team gets left out?
Correct.
Okay, so
Virginia's out.
Virginia is out, but Duke plays Virginia, right? Duke is 1-2. They're in 4th. Virginia's 0-3 in the conference. They're in 5th. You want to hear a crazy stat? Duke has beaten Virginia in the regular season in the last how many meetings? Take a guess. How many regular season games in a row has Duke beat Virginia?
In a row?
Yep.
It's not like 7.
No. More.
9.
More.
11.
19. 19 games, which is freaking one of the craziest stats I've ever heard. Shout out Larkin Kemp, because that was in his Kemp report that came out today. 19 times in the regular season, Duke has beat Virginia. And you got to take into consideration Virginia's success over the last couple of years. That's a couple national championship Virginia teams right there. So if history repeats itself, which it certainly could, Duke beats Virginia, Virginia's out. If Virginia turns a tide and they beat Duke this weekend, both teams are going to be 1-3. And, I don't know what the head-to-head is there, but, Virginia could be in and Duke could be out. So just keep an eye on that, which is crazy to think because, after watching Duke this weekend, I think they're a Final Four team. But if they don't make the ACC tournament, right, they're going to have a real hard time of getting an at-large bid. They still could, which just shows the depth of the ACC. But, that's the game to watch this weekend because if Virginia beats Duke, everything's going to get shaken up a little bit.
That ACC tournament, man. It's not like last year where you just kind of know Notre Dame's going to run with it. It's going to be some good ball.
And do you think that Virginia's just thinking about that just because they want to just create havoc? Think that's something to play for?
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, even if Virginia makes it to the ACC tournament and wins it, they still might not get in the tournament.
Yeah.
Right? Because their resume is not great. If Duke beats Virginia, all 4 of those teams that make the tournament, Notre Dame, North Carolina, Syracuse, and Duke, have a very good resume that should get them into the NCAA playoffs. But, as history shows, someone's going to get gypped, and it's probably going to be Duke. Or it could be Syracuse if they lose to UNC. But, to imagine one of those 4 teams being out, just even more reason to expand the tournament to 24 teams, in my opinion.
Next call.
Next, we have Cannon Lax calling in again. It's short, but I forget what he said.
What's up, guys? Coach Cannon here with Cannon Lax. I've got a hot take. I think Princeton's going to win the Ivy League tournament. What do y'all think?
All right, Coach Cannon. Cannon Lax. That's
It's not a crazy take.
no, not crazy.
It's not crazy.
Wish you backed it up a little more. Wish you talked about why he thinks Princeton's going to win. But I don't know. I mean, I think if you asked all of us who's going to win the Ivy, we'd all say Cornell. But, I mean, it is tough to beat a team twice, which Cornell would have to do against Princeton. And, I don't know, Princeton's just been so steady this year. They really have
very
made any
steady.
mistakes.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys follow the RPI rankings at all, but
Yeah.
for the last couple of weeks, Princeton has been the #1 RPI team in the country.
Yeah. Those rankings are crazy, by the way. I looked at that for the first time
Yeah.
this week,
Wild.
and it blew my mind. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
I mean, if you think about it, the only teams that Princeton has lost to is UNC and Cornell. Right? So, they've beaten everybody else. Duke, Penn, whoever the hell else.
Maryland, Cornell.
Maryland, Cornell. The Ivy League tournament is in Ithaca, New York this year. I do think the final is going to be Cornell-Princeton, right? 1 and 2 seed. Hopefully Princeton can get over the hump, right? We talked to Coulter about it. Cornell's kind of been the monkey on their back for the last couple years, right? This would be the time to do it.
You got to think, too, how hard it is to go unblemished in the Ivy League in general, let alone the tournament. Princeton's the easy number 2 to pick, and who's to say that Princeton can't beat Cornell in the championship? I don't think you need too much evidence to back up that hypothesis.
All right, next call. We got our buddy J-Rock. He's calling in about more Ivy stuff.
Hey, Rockefeller here. First off, they weren't hookers. Second off, it's classified as a giga yacht. And third, I'm going to have to hang up when my private jet reaches cruising altitude. So I'll make this quick. Why is everyone so high on Dartmouth? I mean, they're not even a contender in their own conference. You look at the schedule and CJ Kirst is about to strip them naked and watch them dance. Let me know.
I think Dartmouth struggles. Like I think
Oh man.
He also he's referring to the shot clock where I was talking about Booker being on a yacht because it's pay-per-view, and his friends told him that he thought it was hookers. So he's like, dude, I knew it, but whatever.
we'll throw that clip in.
I fucking love him though.
Context for everyone. The only thing I can say about that is Dartmouth. Like I think we'd all say, yep, they're having a great year. They're having a good year. I think it just shows you how tough it is to win in the Ivy League. Like they're doing good things. They're winning some games. You know, they beat up on Mike, our Hobart team this year impressively. But you know, if you want to make the Ivy League tournament, you know, you got to beat the Yales of the world. You got to beat, you know, Princeton, Cornell, Harvard. You got to be one of those guys. It's a tough conference to be in, even when you're having a great season as a program like Dartmouth.
I also think like, yeah, we're high on Dartmouth because for the past however long, like they haven't been good, right? Like finally they're 8-4. They've won a couple Ivy League games, which they haven't done in years, right? So like, no, Dartmouth isn't going to win the national championship, right? They're not going to win the Ivy League tournament. But the fact that there's some momentum up there is exciting. It's exciting to know that there's another contender in the Ivy League, and they're not just a punching bag like they have been for the last couple of years, right? So, no, they're not world beaters, but they're having one of the best years in program histories. You know, we got to shout them out a little bit and talk about them in good light.
Sorry, J-Rock. Next call.
We got President Trump giving us some takes on Joey Spallina.
Hello, college lacrosse game day. This is Donald Trump. Joey Spallina is the most talented athlete I have ever seen. He deserves a star on Hollywood Boulevard, right next to Bryson DeChambeau and Hawk Tua Girl. What position would I play in lacrosse?
Don, what position would President Trump play in lacrosse? Mike, I'll let you answer that one.
I feel like Donnie J's a goal scorer, man. I feel like he's got to be on the offensive end,
Grease attack.
cashing shots, top left and right tit, if you know what I mean.
I picture him like a Dylan Malloy.
I was gonna say he's kind of like a Peyton Cormier. Yeah. It's kind of like a Peyton Cormier kind of build.
Can back his guy down. Can shoot the shit out of the ball though. Can just get into it. Alrighty, he's no offhand, but that's fine.
Like a Matt Rambo.
Joey Spallina on the Hollywood Walk of Fame between Hawk Tua Girl and Bryson DeChambeau. All right, next call.
All right, next call we got coming in from Troy. He's got some thoughts on lacrosse equipment.
I think they should put nails in the ball and make the goalie wear chainmail. And yeah, that's really it.
What's chainmail?
What is
chainmail?
chainmail?
Like a knight?
Yeah, it is.
It's like mesh.
It's like the mesh armor the knights used to wear.
I'd love for him to put that on. That would be epic.
Great take.
Yeah,
That would
it's
be
like
awesome.
a medieval battlefield.
We would all love to see that.
Unfortunately, lacrosse missed that era of history. Maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's what they used to wear. They probably did.
After the
Best
native
chest protector you
Yeah, it
can
was
buy.
like, but it was like the 1600s when it got discovered. I don't know.
Sterling silver.
It wasn't the Dark Ages.
Chainmail. I'm gonna remember that. Buy some chainmail. Wear it to Memorial Day weekend. My next call.
All right, new caller, Albert Jones. He's all over the map. But
Hey, college lacrosse game day. First time caller on this show. Name's Albert Jones. I got 3 quick ones for you. 1, does anyone have a grip on what will happen in the ACC besides Virginia being irrelevant this year? Is Joey Spalliner tough enough to shake off the Blue Devil loss? Secondly, I am a vet myself. Nam, that is. So when Army beats the piss out of the Bison, it tugged at my heartstrings. Should they be making more headlines? Lastly, I don't know about y'all fellas, but I can't stand Ohio State. Is this the year they make it to Memorial Day weekend?
Thanks, Albert Jones. Let's just focus on the end of that call. Ohio State, are they going to make it to Memorial Day weekend? Loaded question.
They could. I think they're going to have a real difficult road to get through. Like, they're going to be, let's think about it. Like, if they're...
So before you go, them and Maryland locked up the 2 seed. Ohio State is the 1 seed. They won the Big Ten regular season championship. So those 2 programs only have to win 2 games in order to win the Big Ten. That's irrelevant.
They're both going to be in the tournament.
Yes.
Let's say Ohio State doesn't win the Big Ten tournament, because I think that is probably likely right now. Right? I think they're probably a close second. I would say Maryland is probably the team that is the most favored to win the Big Ten tournament right now. Do you agree with that?
Fair. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that, right? So that'll put them in like the 8 or 9 slot in the NCAA tournament, right? Pretty good seed, but they're going to have to face potentially a very difficult opponent in the first round. Like that middle tier of the bracket, right? Like those bubble teams, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds, they're probably going to be playing like a Virginia or a Syracuse or a UNC or an Army potentially, or a team that's, going to get an at-large bid.
Yeah. I think what scares me about Ohio State most is that has anyone on that team played in May?
No.
Like, has anyone made a run?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a transfer. I don't know. Maybe there's someone, but like the team that's there now, I don't know if they have the experience to make a run in May. And you look at some of the other teams we're talking about, Maryland, Dukes of the world.
I agree with you. Like watching that Michigan game when Ohio State went down, right? They were down like 8-5 or something. I saw like the fear in their eyes a little bit. They were like, "Oh my God, what is happening to us right now?" Right? They did bounce back, right? Really gritty win, which is great for them. Like that's the type of experience you need to be successful in May. But again, some of these other teams have been through it. Some of the guys on these other teams have been through that for multiple years now, right? And I really think that was Ohio State's first taste of like, oh my God, our season's over, right? Because that Michigan game to them is as big as any game they'll play all year. And like when they hit you in the mouth like that, you have to respond. And Ohio State did, but they have to continue to do that against better teams in May.
Last but not least, our friend Paul Rabel's top string gave us a ring. He was talking about us and our whys.
Paul Rabel stop string here. Just had to step outside of the office onto the New York City streets because I'm so eager to hear what you had to say about this. A lot of teams are heading into their last game. Playoffs aren't an option. What do they got to play for, man? What do those seniors got to play for in their last game? And you know what? I kind of want to hear what your whys are as well, man. Why do we play this game, fellas? Love you, boys. Thanks.
Oh, it's emotional.
Yeah, I just got chills.
Emotional from top string. What's our why?
I'll say this, you start playing this game at a young age for a lot of us, right? And you work hard at it, right? And it's a huge part of your life for, your entire childhood and early adulthood. And at the end of the day, things that you care so much about when you're in the moment, the wins and the losses and the stats and going as far as you can, right? None of that matters at the end of the day, right? That's not the stuff you remember, right? The stuff you remember is your boys, the locker room, the bus trips, all the memories you made and all the joy that the game brought you. And for the seniors that are playing their last games this week or in the next couple weeks, right, whenever that final whistle blows, right, you go and you take off your pads, put them in the locker room, zip up your bag, clean out your dorm room, go home, and that's kind of it. All you can really take with you and that effort and that love for the game that you had for the greater part of your life. So to the guys, ending their careers, God bless you. Thank you for your contributions to the game, and take with you the memories because those are the things that last.
Do whatever it takes this week is all I'll say. Block a shot, put your body on the line. Just take one right to the cock if you need to. Like, just do whatever it takes.
Be a nail gun. Be the nail gun of the week.
Do the craziest crease dive ever. Jump over the cage, try to day-hoss it between your legs. Like, go nuts, man. Have fun. Enjoy it.
There are so many backyard reps that you took to just be in this moment. for your last week. Like, air it out. Let the fur fly. The reason why we all coach and we all show up and do the youth stuff is because we want to give kids the opportunity to take away from the game what we've taken away, to be able to live with each other and still just be talking about lacrosse when we have zero business being up here. And having Mike call in from New Jersey, there's something special about this game that's different from other games where it just attributes so much to your life. And I can't say that anything in my life would be the same without it. And so I think that's why we're all doing this.
It's well said. Any words, Michael?
All I'll contribute is it goes fast, man. Enjoy it when you're out. You're going to be working a corporate job, drinking your third coffee of the day, sitting at a fucking desk, just counting the hours to get out of work, whatever you may do. Or you're going to be doing what we do. You're going to be still involved in the game, coaching some high school or middle schoolers and thinking, why the fuck can't I just go out there and play 6v6 right now? How much I would love to just play fucking 4v3 fast break drill, anything, just to play the game again, right? So just know that you're going to miss it when you leave. At some point, whether it's right away, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you're going to miss it. You're going to be working. You're going to be starting a family, doing all that great stuff. But enjoy the last moments you have. They last forever, like Hayden said.
Good luck to all those closing out their career.
Game day's here. Oh, it's just, that song's just going to be ringing in your ears on the way home from a win or a loss this week.
And if you still have a chance, don't lose. Don't let it end.
Beat Maryland.
Go
That's all
Irish.
the advice I can give you.
Water guns, that's a birthday party. That's a birthday party thing. A nail gun.
Children.
A nail gun puts a nail in something, and it stays there for 30 years. And it does, and it keeps it there. And these nail guns are keeping their programs on top. All right, our second to last nail gun of the week when it comes to the regular season. A lot of guys I could think of this week, but there's only one. There can only be one. And it's presented by Bully Boy Booze. Bully Boy makes really good booze.
They sure do.
And that's all we have to say about that.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Go get some. Hayden, who's our nail gun of the week?
All right. Nail gun of the week. We've talked about this unit multiple times this year. This one individual, I think, is the lead horse in this unit. I'm talking about the Duke Blue Devils rope unit. And our nail gun of the week this week is Aiden McGuire, short stick D midi for the Blue Devils. I'm sure a lot of you watched the Duke Syracuse game this past weekend. Aiden McGuire had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 huge juice goals, couple cause turnovers, couple GBs, right? He was an absolute stud on the field. I think when we watched that game, or at least when I watched that game, you asked yourself, who's the best lacrosse player on this field right now? And I would say Aiden McGuire. He does it all. He's an old school midi type, goes up and down the field, right? Doesn't stay on for 6-on-6 offense, but creates his own points and opportunities in transition. He's an absolute horse. He's a huge reason why this Duke Blue Devils team beat Syracuse and is a top 10 team in the country. Again, Duke's a team that, has kind of flown under the radar, been a little underwhelming throughout the year. This win against Syracuse kind of cements him right back in the conversation. And Aiden McGuire was an absolute beast this weekend. He is fully deserving of the nail gun of the week. So congratulations, Aiden McGuire and the Duke rope unit.
Great call out. He was actually on the short list for honorable mentions for preseason nail gun of the year for College Lacrosse Game Day. From Hingham, Mass, went to St. Seb's. He's 6'1", 205, handsome as a Blue Devil. And he is a
calves of an Adonis.
Yeah. I mean, you see this kid on the field, you're like, that is a Duke lacrosse player.
Yep.
He's a full 6'3", runs like the wind, has a great stick, not just for a D midi, but for anybody. He reminds me, like, seeing him and Sam English on the field at the same time, right? I thought Sam English was like the prototype transition midi. This kid is just like a step faster, an inch taller, a little bit thicker, and a little bit more powerful. I was very impressed by him. So, again, congratulations, Aiden McGuire.
My dream is for looking at bios, for if you go to like a team's roster, for honors to include, nail gun of the week, College Lacrosse CLG nail gun of the week.
That'd be great.
Week 13.
It is a high honor. A high distinction.
I think the only kid that would put that on there is Restorucci before he signs off for the year.
Yeah.
He would be like, talk to his PR person, be like, edit it in right now.
Radosic could say two-time.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the week.
Nail gun of the year. It is now a good time to mention we'll do end of the year awards.
Yes.
After the season.
Pending
concludes.
who will be sponsoring it.
Yes,
but
there will be a sponsor.
yes.
Yeah.
There will be a sponsor.
Wait, so what are some examples of the awards we're going to give out? Nail gun of the year. Call-in of the year.
Call-in of the year.
Call-in personality of the year. Guest of the year.
Guest of the year.
Sponsor of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A lot of awards.
Game of the year.
Game of the
Game
year.
of the year. It's a good one.
Play of the year.
Conference of the year.
Conference of the year.
Team of the year.
Team of the
Team of the year.
There's just so many we could give out.
Coach of the year.
Military Academy of the year.
There'll be a laundry list of awards.
Sexiest goal of the year.
Yeah. Best poke check of the year. Yeah.
The only Rusty Gate of the year.
We'll finalize that list, but there will be end of the year awards that will.
We'll do it right too. We'll do it right.
We'll get like trophies or something.
Yeah, we'll all wear a suit. Yeah, we'll mail you something.
Yeah.
We'll mail you a sticker.
Well, your flowers.
Send you a koozie.
We'll hand deliver them.
A little box of nails.
Go down to the hardware store, Cleveland Circle, get you some nice nails.
I just bought a box of screws from down there.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, we need
Screwing
nails.
So many heads in the shafts. Losing track of the little string king bolts.
Those kind of suck.
They suck. They
I don't
snap.
use them.
You over twist them like one drill rotation and they
Yeah.
snap.
One thing.
I want a good like thick screw.
What's the little like steel tip on the end? Is it like you're supposed to like hit it in, like knock it in? Because I did it. I took like a mallet because I like kind of drilled it. I took a mallet to like poke it through, and it bent.
Yeah, it's like cheap metal.
And it won't even fit in the
It
fucking
really
thing.
only works with the string king shafts and like it goes in smoothly and like you can tighten it. But any other shafts,
Who
like,
buys shafts these days?
right? I don't know. I mean, like it's an
Anyway.
absolute nightmare for a youth kid putting his string king 3V on an ECD carbon. It's like building a rocket.
You just need a nail to just put. I wish there was just a nail,
Yeah, it
a little
should be a-
crosshead. You
yeah.
could just nail it in.
Deadbolt. They just shoot through there. Thing's never coming off.
I'm like flashbacking to my dad putting like a head on a long pole in the garage. First time ever.
Slam it on the ground.
God fucking damn it!
Why is the whole?
I gotta buy a fucking new one.
You like start banging the stick on the concrete, and then the shaft goes through the butt end, and then it's like
Butt ends, toes, shaft
Yeah.
ends.
yeah, it's a nightmare.
That's why you just buy a.
That's perfect.
You got
example
that
of
nice-
keeping the sport.
Yeah.
Gap between your head and the shaft. You're fuck
Yeah,
it.
nice little
Yeah,
rattle.
it doesn't matter, right? That's okay, right?
Whatever. I've
Like,
done that
shift
before.
up and down, it'll rattle.
When I was trying to put my 3V on a gate ice, I literally had a rubber mallet knocking it off. It was like peeling the plastic from the inside.
Yeah, you're like shaving off the structural integrity of the head.
I know. It's probably going to crack once I take 3 face-offs in the box.
Alrighty, that's why they have the warranty.
You got to register your heads these days.
That's literally the motivation to play college ball, so you can get free sticks. There are some other stories we want to make sure we cover our all guts section.
All guts, no glory.
All guts, no glory. Who we got? Last slate of the regular season this year, we were 83-58 overall. We were 7-6 last week. Not great, but there is more to come. It is Tuesday. We do not have spreads for Saturday games, but we have the spreads for Friday games. Interesting slate this week. A lot of lacrosse on Friday. Like half the lacrosse is on Friday.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. It starts at like 4 o'clock when there's a lot of games at 7. So don't go out. Stay home and watch Lax. Friday, April 25th. A lot of Patriot League action on Friday. We're starting with Loyola at Army. Army is a 6-goal favorite in this game. The Crew's taking Army unanimously. If Loyola wins, they have a shot at the tournament. Right now, in the Patriot League, you got Army at the top. BU's right after Army. Army and BU are in. Navy and Loyola are 3 and 4. Lafayette, Colgate, and Lehigh are 4 and 3. So some shit's gonna happen. Some teams are gonna win. Some teams are gonna lose. But if you're in that group of teams, you got to win this week to have a shot. Would be a bad loss for Army actually too if given at-large implications, which is important to note. Colgate at BU. BU is a 1.5 goal favorite in this game. Crew is taking BU unanimously. Excuse me. Colgate 4-3, and L doesn't guarantee that Colgate is out, but this is a big game for them. They got to bring it home.
Drexel is traveling to Delaware. Delaware 2.5 goal favorites. Drexel, big OT win. A Delaware, bad loss. Huge win for Monmouth in their loss. Delaware's still 2 games back from Drexel. 4 teams make the tournament in this league. We have Drexel taking this one. Next, we have Denver, 2.5 goal favorites, traveling to Marquette. Denver does have some upside for the remainder of the Big East tourney. Right now, they're in 3rd. Marquette's pretty wounded right now. They're in 5th. We have Denver taking this one.
Staying in the Big East, Villanova at Georgetown. Georgetown is a 3-goal favorite in this one. This is for the 1 seed in the Big East. Villanova right now is 4-0. Georgetown is 3-1. Villanova, red hot. They've won their last 5 games, but the Crew is taking Georgetown in this one. Lafayette. Yep.
Dan, I think you said a lot of important things there, especially I feel like Villanova has just flew under the radar. I had no idea that they were 5 games in a row or even undefeated in the Big East. I didn't know that. And then you look at, like you said, they're playing for the 1 seed right now. If you look at the standings in the Big East right now, all teams below Villanova, because they're the only undefeated team, are teams that we talked about being a favorite in the Big East or who we thought would definitely be above Villanova. I think we even talked about St. John's and Marquette making it over Villanova in the Big East tournament. But I mean, Georgetown below them, Denver below them, and Providence, who we were really high on. And I feel like I don't know much about this Villanova team, but I do know that they play tough. They always have a solid defense under Coach Corrado. This could go – I have a feeling we all picked Georgetown. I feel like it's time for Villanova to finally have a blemish on their 4-0 record in conference, but a very good Big East game.
Lafayette at Lehigh. Lehigh, 1.5 goal favorite in this one. The Crew is taking Lafayette in this game, actually. Really, it's win and you're probably in. Both these teams are 4-3, so that's a huge Friday night game for these 2 Patriot League opponents.
Saturday, the 26th, Vermont travels to Binghamton. Vermont should win. They're in a pretty good position to make the tournament. They're the 3 seed right now in 3rd. They're going to beat Binghamton. Next, we have Monmouth traveling to Fairfield. Monmouth, big win last week. Fairfield cannot afford a loss here. We have Fairfield unanimously winning this one.
Yale at Princeton. Not a ton of implications here. Maybe at large for Princeton, possibly, but they're both essentially in the tournament unless something crazy happens. So Dartmouth plays at Cornell. I think even if Dartmouth wins, they're out. The Ivy League tournament is set. Yale at Princeton. We're taking Princeton, obviously. Utah at Air Force. This is a battle. 2 of the top teams in the ASUN that only has 6 teams in the conference this year. Jacksonville is also in this conference. The Crew is taking Utah in this game. Important to keep in mind, Utah's won the ASUN the last 2 years. Air Force looking to dethrone them.
Robert Morris is playing Lemoyne at Lemoyne. I don't really care what happens in this game, but Lemoyne will probably win.
Dude, what the hell?
You know who does care? Robert Morris fans, Lemoyne fans.
NEC fan. I'm pretty sure Lemoyne cannot play in postseason.
I was wondering that.
I'm almost positive. I have a unfortunate history against Robert Morris in the NEC, and I know that they can get hot at the end of the year.
Okay.
Even though their coach is different.
Right. I don't think Lemoyne, they haven't been in this setting in their D1 era.
Next, we have Duke traveling to Virginia. Duke has some momentum right now. This is the bottom of the barrel battle. If Virginia beats Duke, they will have the head-to-head because Duke beats Syracuse. So that could shake it up a little bit. In ACC, the top 4 make the tournament, so should be a really good game.
It's not confirmed. We don't know this for sure, but pretty sure if Virginia wins, they're in. Wish we had Dan Oresti on. Yeah, and he could probably
bring his calculator out.
Last one, Towson at Hofstra. Crew's taking Hofstra in this game. They're both in the tournament. The CA tournament is settled. We all know who's in it. It's Towson, Hofstra, Fairfield, and Drexel, but 2 of the top teams should be a good matchup.
Timeout. So I was the only one to take Towson in this matchup. All 3 of you took Hofstra. Not quite sure why. Towson is 15th in the country. They've been on a heater. They've won the last 7 games. You know, Hofstra's a good team and a team that could upset them. But I think the reason I took this game is because a lot of these mid-major conferences, I'm thinking like CAA, American East, ASUN, right? I don't see a lot of teams that if they make the tournament are going to, beat any one of these other teams that make the tournament. So like I think Towson out of those 3 conferences is the only team that's really capable of making some noise in the NCAA tournament. They got Mikey Weishar, who's an absolute stud, a couple other good attackmen in Ronan Fitzpatrick, Chop Gallagher, a couple names that we've heard before. But Towson's a good team. I think they can beat Hofstra. I think they will beat Hofstra. I think they'll come out of the CAA, and for a team that's on the bubble for the NCAA tournament, that's a pretty scary matchup in the first round. I would not want to see Towson in the first round, so I'm hoping Towson comes out of the CAA, gets a chance to kind of redeem themselves. If you remember, they were preseason ranked pretty high. They fought their way back to number 15. I think they deserve a spot in the NCAA tournament, and I'm excited to see them run through the CAA.
Who are the other conferences you mentioned there? American East, CAA,
ASUN, right? Like in years past, Utah,
MAC.
Jacksonville has come out of the ASUN. Thought, Jacksonville beat Duke in years past. Utah had, a little better of a resume. I just don't see those teams competing with any of these, at-large teams.
Albany.
I don't know if Albany, say they come out of the American East, right? Them or Bryant, like, maybe Bryant. I don't know though. Like if they're playing Ohio State or, at Georgetown, I really kind of see that as like a stepping stone game for one of those more elite programs. And then the NEC or the MAC, like there's just no team in those conferences that has really separated themselves and been the dominant team like that you kind of need to be to ever even win a game in May.
Yeah, Sacred Heart lost the play-in last year to Albany. Albany was impressive against Notre Dame in the first round last year. But yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but for these schools to win a conference tournament, it's just like college basketball. They're all gunning for a spot in this tournament, and their only way in is to win their conference. Is something these kids will remember for the rest of their lives. So that's all next week. Obviously, conference tournament stuff, but definitely tune in. There's going to be endless lacrosse, but starting this week, our next segment, the games of the week. We're very lucky, to say the very least. Yeah, these are our games of the week. We have 3 games of the week. Our games of the week. We're just fired up to present to you our games of the week. Our games of the week segment. 2 big games, one of which we've been waiting for all year, specifically Michael has as an A10 fanatic. Richmond at St. Joe's. Richmond's a 2.5 goal favorite in this game. This one's on Friday at 4 p.m. It's on ESPN Plus. Crew's taking Richmond in this game. But as far as mid-major matchups go, I mean, this is getting close to a Denver-Georgetown type game in the infancy of the A10 conference in lacrosse. Mike, I'll start with you, just being the big A10 fan, and we just had a conversation too about the tournament itself. Maybe we start there. It's not over yet. There's a chance for our boys to get in there if some things happen, but they got to get it done first against UMass.
Absolutely. And you actually, it's funny you made that point because that was the first point I was going to make, is that this game, Richmond St. Joe's, is I feel like even if St. Joe's isn't having a great year or Richmond, it's that type of game where it's Denver Georgetown or it's Delaware Towson. It's that type of conference game. It's always going to be a must watch. They're just those 2 types of teams. We also already discussed the scenario where if Richmond beats St. Joe's, these 2 teams are going to play each other again. So that weighs a whole entire factor into this game. How do you play it? What do you take from it? What is do you throw out the whole bag in this game, or you try and save something for the first round of the conference tournament? But there's also, I think this year St. Joe's hasn't been as great as many people predicted they'd be. And Richmond, kind of the opposite. They were way above expectations. St. Joe's isn't as much of a powerhouse, but I think the main thing is they just have so many new faces. We've already talked earlier this year about how many people left important pieces on that team, especially the attack. Page, Bomir, and Anderson, all gone, as well as a few other pieces in the midline. But, I mean, they're also coming off an upset loss to High Point. High Point's another team in the A10 that nobody thought would be great this year, especially with a new head coach in Crawley. And then Richmond, it just feels like at this point, it's Richmond's conference to lose. This is Richmond's game to lose. This is Richmond's conference to lose because Richmond is the only team in the A10 that is in at-large conversation by far. And they're in a decent spot right now. The last thing I will say is there's a really good matchup in this game. A defender I'm always high on, Hunter Smith. I believe he's some type of honorable mention All-American, at least mid-season. He'll be on Richie Lacandria, who was one of our nail guns. He's got 49 points on the year. That's going to be a very good matchup to watch in this game.
Yeah, I think it's just another important thing to note, right? If Richmond wins this game, right, they'll be the number 1 seed in the tournament. St. Joe's will likely be the number 4 seed in the tournament, assuming High Point is going to beat St. Bonaventure this week, right? And if UMass beats Hobart, then UMass is the 3 seed and St. Joe's is the 4 seed. So that could potentially set up a Richmond-St. Joe's 10 semifinal, which will absolutely screw whoever loses that game's at-large chances, right? And it will, really, it's going to be a one-bid conference for the A-10.
Yeah, neither of those teams are getting an at-large.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, if Richmond is still playing for an at-large, if they win this game and they lose to St. Joe's in the semifinals, if it does shake out that way, they may still be a 2-bid league. But if St. Joe's beats Richmond this week, it'll all come down to the championship game, and it'll be a 1-bid league like it's always been.
Mm-hmm. Boys are alive, though. That's all I've been thinking about this whole time. How do we beat UMass?
If Hobart beats UMass and Richmond beats St. Joe's, Hobart is in. So you guys are the biggest Richmond fans in the world this week.
Go Spiders and go Statesmen. 10. That's a huge matchup, and we're probably going to see it again in all likelihood. UNC at Syracuse is our second game of the week, last game of the week of the regular season. This one's on Saturday. It's on ACC Network. It's at 5 p.m. We are taking Cuse in this matchup. Wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if UNC won. I'd be interested to see the spread in this game. It's not out yet. Have to think Syracuse is a favorite by only 1, 2, 3 goals,
like 2.5.
But it's tight enough. I think UNC, they need a good road win in conference. I really think they need that.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with Owen Duffy? Is he in? Is he kind of got held out because they were up 4-0 against Notre Dame, and then they kind of threw him in because they saw him bleeding?
I think he's fine. I think he had Sean Light covering him against Notre Dame. But
that's an issue.
Going back to this game, the only reason I'm taking Syracuse in this game is because they are playing in the Dome. I think if this game was at UNC, I'd take UNC all day. I think we started to think about it at the beginning of the season. Cuse only plays to their full potential in the Dome, right? They kind of struggle outside, and it was kind of a theory. But I think, these past few weeks have told us that Syracuse has a true home field advantage, and they do struggle outside of the Dome, right? They still move the ball and do all the things that they're really good at, just at a lower frequency. They just lost to Duke. They had some moments of brilliance on the offensive end, but only a couple times a game. In the Dome, it just seems like they move the ball a lot better. They're a lot more comfortable. Cuse is going to win in the Dome at home this week. And I was thinking about this all week. I think Syracuse needs to wear sleeveless jerseys outside. I think their sleeves are way too baggy for how fast they move the ball. They need to go back to it.
They have them.
They just look slow and it's slowing them down a little bit.
They're not they're not huge. They're not
no.
They're not like a Notre Dame. They're smaller than Notre Dame.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
saying
saying
Notre Dame has the kind of thin Under Armour jerseys that kind of hug you a little bit tighter though.
Yeah, but they're football players. Syracuse are not.
No,
right,
true,
yeah.
true.
It looks like they all have baggy
they're-
jerseys on.
They're
When you're playing in
laxers.
80 degrees in North Carolina, it's just got to feel a little heavy on you.
And they do have the sleeveless. I mean, they started the freaking sleeveless.
Yeah, that's their look. They own that look. I think in the Dome they should wear the sleeves, and then outside they should be a different team, get a different uniform.
Or Volt.
Yeah, get some swagger back. What their jerseys are so simple. They're just like every other team. They have a brand, they have an identity, right? They have the flash. They are Flash.
Or Syracuse.
Embrace it. You know, I know we're trying to go for this old school look and old school greatness look, but cut the sleeves off and get some chrome in there.
Volt helmets.
Yeah,
Chrome Volt helmets.
Volt
it's how they
chrome
play. They're a
face
flashy
masks.
team, right? And like embrace it. Like that's who you are.
In all seriousness, they need a road win. If that's going to come, quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament,
I just don't see
it
that
wouldn't even
happening.
technically be a road win. I guess they could get to the point where they don't have to play any more road games if they're a higher seed in the first round, and then they play a neutral site quarterfinal game. But they haven't beaten the elements yet.
You're talking Syracuse.
They just got to take it one week at a time. They got to win this game.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I also want to say, like, UNC's a great team this year. I think they're lacking one more guy on offense. Like, Duffy and Petramal are great. Levy's been great. But I don't know. I just feel like they really rely on sharpshooting and breaking guys' ankles and getting by them. Like, that stuff's great, but it's not something to hang your hat on. Like, you need a couple really consistent guys who can create with pressure on their hands and, beat a guy like Sean Leiter, not beat him, but at least handle him and not let him dictate the pace of the offense and all that. So I like UNC. Like, I think they're going to be an exciting team to watch in May, but I think it's a tall task for them to beat a physical Syracuse team in the Dome.
They do break guys' ankles.
They have the one freshman Harshberger. He's pretty solid. Like, he's an initiator.
Yeah, but he's a freshman. And they have a young defense and, good team. Like they could go all the way. Like, no question about it. But I think when you look at some of these other teams, like, they're just bigger, a little tougher, a little more experienced, and they kind of have a more reliable play style.
They've played in May.
And you know who didn't look that great is Gianfrancaro.
Yeah, he's wearing shorts.
That last game. He didn't look very good.
Get back to the sweatpants.
Get back in your bag.
All right.
Just make sure you wear a cup.
Our step down picks, ladies and gentlemen. Last week we had a rough week. It was not good for the boys. I told so many people about this too. I was like, "Yo, I need some picks." I was like, "Oh, here are our step down picks."
Damn.
Did
No
that
good.
person reach back out to you?
No, I blocked his number. He's dust in the wind. Brett, you had Princeton minus 4.5 against Penn or at Penn. That didn't hit. I had Michigan +2 hosting Ohio State. Michigan was up by 3 goals with like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then they lost by 2. They lost by 2. Up 3 goals with 5 minutes. Oh, it's just annoying. Villanova 2.5 goal favorites versus Marquette. Lehigh +2.5 at BU. We suck. We suck balls.
I don't know how Villanova only beat Marquette by 1. That might have been a lock of the year pick for me. Good thing I didn't bet on it.
I loved like all the picks too. I was like, oh, these are all great.
Well, I remember watching, like, Princeton started off bad. Like, they were like down like 4-2 or something, or like 4-0, and I was like, all right, I'm fucked immediately.
You knew it. Just knew.
I knew they were coming back. So
All right, what do we got this week?
Yeah, let's move on. Plowing ahead.
we only have like 8 lines to choose from right now.
Yeah, we do. Slim pickings.
Unexciting.
Slim pickings, but we're picking. Brett, go first.
Okay, I'm gonna take Iona +3.5 at the Mount.
The Gales.
The Gales.
Let's see how the Gales do.
Is the Mount the Hawks? What are they? The Hawks?
Tribe.
No, they're the Hawks.
The Mountaineers.
Mount St. Mary's Mount.
It's
It
kind
is
of a
their thing.
strange line, but I want Iona to cover here. We'll
All
see.
right. Can you tell me one thing about Iona?
It's their first season D1.
Good enough.
How's that? They got a decent basketball program.
They do.
They did. Rick Pitino was a head coach there.
That's probably why. All right, enough about them.
Dan, who's your pick?
The mascot of Mount St. Mary's University is Athena,
No, it's not.
the Greek goddess of wisdom.
No, that's the wrong Mount St. Mary's.
What? That's
There's
not
like
it.
5 Mount St. Mary's.
It's not it.
His name is Emmett. There he is.
Is he a tree hugger?
Emmett S. Berg, Mount St. Mary's. Oh, is he a mountaineer?
Oh, yeah. Emmett S. Berg. That's funny because Mount St. Mary's is in Emmetsburg.
Emmitsburg, Maryland.
Clever.
It's all coming together.
That's it.
That's a knee slapper. Is a knee slapper. All right, my pick is Lehigh minus 1.5 versus Lafayette. I just feel like Lafayette is like, come on, we got this. And I think Lehigh they've been here before. They can handle the situation. 1.5 goal favorites at home. Come on, Riverhawks or Mountain Hawks, wherever the hell you guys are.
My pick is Bucknell +2 hosting Navy. I don't love it. I kind of hate it, but I'm going with it.
Go with your gut. Go with your heart.
You got a good hat.
You got a good hat there.
Yeah, good hat. Navy lost to Loyola last week by 5, so I don't know. You should never count out a midshipman, but maybe Bucknell will do it this week.
And then I got Drexel +2.5 at Delaware, and my thought process is Delaware just lost to Monmouth, and Drexel is always a solid team, and I feel like they can cover, if not beat Delaware.
Nice.
These are the most unexciting picks ever.
Yeah, we're just, I don't know.
That's what happens when you record on Tuesday, you know?
You do. Wish we had some more stuff. Drexel's good, though. They have some big wins.
Yeah. The Dragons.
Go Dragons.
Tucker Durkin's
Well, that
on
was
the sideline.
fun.
Caputo. Real ones know what Caputo did for Drexel in the
Yeah.
journey.
Talk about pinch and pop already.
Yeah, I was thinking about how I could keep the conversation going, but I think we should just wrap it up. What do you say? What do you think about that, boys?
I think you're right. I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we've said enough. All right. Well, enjoy the games. See ya.